Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you a spoiler-free review of Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. So let's just get into today's video. Before getting into the review, I want to tell two things. First, I know that I've not posted videos for the past week, so I'm going to try and upload at least one video every alternate day until the lockdown ends. And the second thing being, if you want to try any free audiobooks, you just need to have an Amazon.in account right now. If you have an Amazon account, try to download the Audible.in app and sign into it. Audible is having this facility until the lockdown ends, such that you can listen to certain audiobooks just for free. You need not have a membership in Audible as well. You just need to have an Amazon account and you need to create an Audible account as well. There is this feature called Audible Stories. If you just get into it, you can listen for a variety of audiobooks just for free, and the quality of the audiobooks is really good. Also, I checked for the collection. The collection that they have available is also vast. If you like different genres, you can experiment with them, because they have audiobooks from every other genre. I wanted to tell it to you guys so that it might be useful during this period especially. So just give it a try. Starting with the review of the book. First, I'm going to speak about the plot. Now, the plot follows two storylines, which are the first one being the story of two princesses who are Vivenna and Ciri. They are sisters, and Vivenna is the elder sister and Ciri is the younger sister. Vivenna, the elder sister, is trained in order to marry a king called the God King from another kingdom called Hallinton. And this younger sister, Ciri, she's a tomboy kind of a character. She's not that much cared of, and she's not trained for anything. She's just living her life happily in this kingdom, Idris. And just due to some things which happen in the plot, instead of marrying Vivenna to the God King, that is the princess who was trained, the other princess, who is kind of a tomboy, is married to him. And this launches a very good storyline, and the characters that appear in the storyline are also very well shaded and layered by the author. Apart from this, the second storyline is this kind of a cold war between two kingdoms called Hallinton, which is the kingdom in which the God King resides and rules, and the second kingdom, which is Idris, in which these two princesses reside. The main difference between these two kingdoms is that Hallinton is totally colored, and it is mostly based on colors itself, whereas Idris, it's totally colorless. It's different in terms of colors. That is, the colors which they have are just different layers of grey, white and black. There are no other colors, and color is considered to be an abomination in Idris. Moving to the characters of the book, we have five main characters. As I said before, we have the two princesses who are Vivenna and Ciri, and this person called the God King. He's named Susebron, and he lives in Hallinton. And Hallinton is a kingdom in which gods reside. That is, people who died and who were resurrected by the god himself. So they are considered as gods and they are worshipped by the people. There is this other god called Lightsong. He is my favorite character throughout the story. And apart from that, we have this other main character called Vasher. Vasher comes in the first two chapters of the book, and after that his appearance is only in the last 100 to 150 pages of the book. But his absence is made not felt by the author by portraying his storyline in a proper and vivid way. So even though we get Vasher only in a small amount of pages, the impression made by that character in this story is very strong. And apart from that, the two princess characters who are Vivenna and Ciri, they undergo massive character development within this single book. It's like 650 pages long, so there's a lot of time for the characters to develop. And the development of Vivenna compared to Ciri was more liked by me compared to the other sister. And this person called the God King, he's also he's so quiet for the first 100 to 150 pages, and after that there are multiple revelations about this God King, which make us want to crave for more about his history. And apart from that, Lightsong is this sassy character, a sassy god. I'm sure that most people will like Lightsong if they like characters like that, because he's such a character which has to be in every book in order to make the book more readable and more interesting. In that way, he played a very good part in that, and his development, his character growth was also very well portrayed by the author. The next thing I'm going to speak about is the magic system that has been used in this book. This magic system is called biochromatic breath, and as much as the breath a person contains, the more powerful he or she is in this world. and magic is considered to be an abomination by the people of one kingdom, and it is the source of power for the people in another kingdom. And they can how to say, they wield power just by drawing out colors from other objects, and once a person imbibes such power, he or she can sense all the things surrounding him or her in a more elevated way compared to that of normal human beings. And the science that Brandon Sanderson has used in order to convey the magic system properly to us readers is so vivid, and it is very much detailed. He has dissected each and every part of the magic system, which is not that much available in most fantasy books. That's why I like his books, because he delves deep into the magic system. He just doesn't explain everything in the first chunk of the story itself. The magic system develops throughout the book, and at every instant it feels how to say, it feels proper. It doesn't feel like the magic has been changed according to convenience throughout the story. So I like the magic system a lot, and one of the main reasons I read his books is the magic systems. It was very well done in his first book which I read, that is Elantris as well. I have a review for that also in this channel. Try and check it out if you want to. But I think the magic system in this was far better compared to that in Elantris, and it was very fun to read about. It's not about we read about magic, we learn the magic, and even after the end of the story, the magic system is not entirely explained. It is said that even the characters who are explaining the magic system to us, they are not completely aware of what all the magic can do. They put out multiple trial and error methods and learn how they can use that magic. That was a very good thing done by the author. Next comes the world building aspect. I don't want to explain this. Brandon Sanderson does world building in a very extraordinary way, and it was very good in this one as well. Just as I said before, in these two kingdoms, one is colored and another one is colorless, and he delves into each level of that particular thing in the kingdom. That is how the people wear their clothes, how they eat their food, how is the dressing sense or dress sense in each kingdom, and the buildings, how they are built, and how the presence of a particular character in a particular place can change the whole appearance of that place because of the magic or breath that they contain. They were all very well built by Sanderson, so I was able to visualize the world in a proper way compared to normal fantasy books. And if you ask me, the world building in this book was total 5-star, because you cannot say anything as a flaw in this world building. Now, the last thing I want to speak about the book is the pacing. The pacing of Warbreaker is slow compared to most fantasy books. It is the way in which Brandon Sanderson writes stuff. He intentionally writes the stuff in a slow way because he has to lay out these lot of things which have to come and concord together in order to form the climax of the story, which was really good. The climax in this book was almost like 50 to 60 pages long, which is a long climax, yet it was very much engaging. I read the climax in like an hour, I think, mostly. It didn't take more than an hour for me to complete that climax, and it was very well executed by the author. So if you're a fan of slow-paced, slow-burn stories, then you must read Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Now I'm going to discuss little spoilers, and I'll leave the timestamp in the description so you can skip to the last part of the video after the spoilers end. Now, the main thing which I didn't like in this story was the use of Vasher. We see that Vasher is the Warbreaker actually towards the end of the story, and I didn't get more of Vasher throughout the story. The title being Warbreaker, we need to get more amount of Warbreaker content in the book. I was not able to guess that Vasher was the Warbreaker until it was revealed by the author. That was a very good twist, but I needed more attention towards that character rather than all the other characters who were focused. They were good and they were built in a very good way, yet I needed more focus on Vasher, and I needed more scenes from Vasher because he's the title of the book itself. And apart from that, we get many mentions of this war called the Mini War, which took place 300 to 400 years back in this world. Even that might have been dug in a little by the author, if you ask me, because that might have added on to the richness of the world. These are all the spoilers. So coming to the final opinions of my book, of my thoughts in this book. I rated this 5 stars because it was very much engaging. Though it is big, it was such a fun to read. You cannot put this down just feeling that it's boring, because it is not at all boring at any instant. uh, there are two things which can make a good better. It is either the plot or the characters. In this book, both of them are handled in a very masterful way. You might think that the character work is so good, the plot is going to waver somewhat in the story, but the plot doesn't waver at all. It goes in a proper way without damaging the development of the characters. It was nicely executed by the author. That's all for today. If you enjoyed watching this video, do give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.